So you're 28 years old, you're making decent money, let's say $65,000 a year, and you think to yourself, you know what, I've got time. I'll get serious about saving when I'm 35, when I'm making more money, when things settle down. And right now you're just enjoying life. Going out with friends, upgrading your apartment, buying that new car because, hey, you deserve it, right? Here's the thing, that 7-year delay just cost you $1.2 million. And I'm going to show you exactly how. My name is Elon Musk, and I spend way too much time thinking about how young people are sabotaging their financial futures without even realizing it. If you're someone who keeps telling yourself you'll get serious about money later, or you think that because you're young you have plenty of time to catch up, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what I'm about to show you is going to completely change how you think about every financial decision you make in your 20s and 30s. Look, I get it. When you're 25, 30, even 35 years old, retirement feels like a million years away. It's this abstract concept that doesn't feel real. You've got rent to pay, student loans hanging over your head, and everyone around you is going to brunch and taking trips to Europe, and you're thinking, I don't want to be the person who misses out on life just to save for something that's 40 years away. But here's what most people don't realize. Delayed financial responsibility isn't just about missing out on a few years of compound interest. It's about fundamentally changing the entire trajectory of your financial life in ways that you cannot, and I mean cannot, make up for later, no matter how hard you try. Let me show you the math, because this is where it gets really interesting. Let's say you're 25 years old. If you start investing just $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year, and you do that consistently with an average annual return of 8%, which is actually conservative based on historical stock market returns, by the time you're 65, you'll have approximately $1,745,000. Now let's say you wait until you're 35 to start. Same exact investment, $500 a month, same 8% return. You now have $611,000 at age 65. You lost 10 years, just 10 years, and that cost you $1,134,000. But wait, here's where people always try to outsmart this. They say, okay, so I'll just invest more when I start at 35. I'll catch up. Great, let's do that math. To match that $1.7 million starting at 35, you'd need to invest $1,430 per month, not $500, nearly triple. Now you might be thinking, well, I'll be making more money when I'm 35, so that'll be easier. Will you, though? Here's what actually happens. According to a 2023 study from the Employee Benefit Research Institute, 64% of workers who say they'll increase their retirement savings in the future never actually do it. Why? Because life doesn't get less expensive as you get older, it gets more expensive. At 25, maybe you're single, you've got roommates, your biggest expense is your student loan payment and your weekend plans. By 35, there's a decent chance you're married, maybe you've got a kid or you're thinking about kids. You've upgraded from that studio apartment to a 2-bedroom because you needed the space. You bought a house, now you've got a mortgage, property taxes, homeowner's insurance, and that leak in the roof that's going to cost $8,000 to fix. Your car is older and needs more repairs, or worse, you justified buying a new one because it's more reliable and we need something safe for the baby. Your income might have gone up, sure, but your expenses went up faster. This is the trap, this is what nobody tells you. The psychological reality is that your lifestyle expands to meet your income. It's called lifestyle inflation, and it is absolutely brutal. That extra $20,000 you're making at 35 compared to 25, it's already spent before you even think about investing it. And here's the really frustrating part. The people who delay financial responsibility don't just have less money at retirement. They have less freedom throughout their entire lives. Let me explain what I mean by freedom, because this isn't some abstract philosophical concept. This is dollars and cents. When you start investing early, even small amounts, you create what I call the freedom gap. It's the difference between what you have and what you owe, between your options and your obligations. Let's compare two people, Sarah and Mike. Sarah starts investing $400 a month at age 25. By age 35, she's got roughly $73,000 in her investment accounts. She's also been living on slightly less, so she never inflated her lifestyle to the absolute maximum of her income. She's got minimal debt because she learned to live below her means early. At 35, Sarah's company offers her a promotion that requires relocating to a city she doesn't want to live in. Or maybe she realizes she hates her career and wants to change fields entirely. Or maybe she just wants to take a year off to travel or start a business or spend time with her aging parents. She can do that, she's got options. That $73,000 plus her lower lifestyle expenses means she can make choices based on what she wants, not just what she needs. Now Mike spent his 20s living his life. Nothing crazy, he wasn't reckless. He just didn't see the point of investing when he was making $50,000 a year. He figured he'd get serious about money when he was making six figures. By 35, Mike's making $90,000. Great, except he's got $15,000 in credit card debt, a $35,000 car loan, a mortgage that's stretching his budget, and exactly $2,400 in his retirement account because he's only been contributing for the last year. Mike's company offers him the same promotion, same relocation he doesn't want. Mike has no choice, he takes it. He has to take it because he's got obligations, and obligations kill options. Look, this isn't about judging Mike. This is about understanding that delayed financial responsibility doesn't just affect your retirement, it affects every single decision you make in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. It determines whether you work because you want to or because you have to. Now everyone talks about compound interest like it's this magical thing, and it is, but here's what most people don't realize. Compound interest is brutal when it works against you, and it only works dramatically in your favor when you give it time. Albert supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it, those who don't pay it. That second part is what kills people. Let's say you've got $8,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest, which is actually the average rate right now in 2025. You're making minimum payments. That $8,000 turns into $12,000 in 4 years, even if you never charge another dollar to it. Meanwhile, your friend who doesn't have that debt invests that minimum payment you're making, let's say $200 a month. Over those same 4 years, at 8% return, they've got about $10,900. You both spent the same amount of money each month, but in 4 years, you're still $12,000 in the hole, and they've got almost $11,000 in assets. That's a $23,000 swing from the same monthly amount, all because of the direction that compound interest was working. Here's where it gets really interesting. According to a 2024 Federal Reserve report, the median American household headed by someone under 35 has a net worth of $39,000, not million, thousand, and that includes their car, their furniture, everything. Meanwhile, households that started consistent investing in their 20s, the data shows their median net worth by 35 is over $180,000. Same generation, same economy, same job market. The only difference is when they started taking financial responsibility seriously. Okay, so let's talk about the excuses because I know what you're thinking. I've heard all of them. I don't make enough money to invest. Really, you don't have $50 a month because that's where you start. Not $500, not $1,000, just $50. That's less than most people spend on streaming services and coffee. If you can't find $50 a month, the problem isn't your income, it's your spending. I've got student loans. I need to pay those off first before I can invest. Look, I understand the emotional appeal of being debt-free. But mathematically, if your student loans are at 4% interest and the market historically returns 8-10%, you're actually losing money by putting every extra dollar toward the loans instead of splitting it between loan repayment and investing. You can do both. Pay your loans aggressively, sure, but don't wait until they're completely gone to start building wealth. The economy is too uncertain right now. I'll wait until things are more stable. Oh, you mean like how people said in 2008 during the financial crisis, or in 2020 during the pandemic, or in 2022 during the inflation spike, there's never a perfect time to invest. Never. The people who waited for certainty missed some of the biggest market gains in history. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. I'll start investing when I get my next raise. No, you won't. You know why? Because when you get that raise, you'll find something else to spend it on. You'll upgrade your apartment, or finally buy that couch you've been wanting, or increase your dining out budget because you deserve it after working so hard. The raise will come and go, and you still won't be investing. The only way to start investing is to start investing, not later, not when conditions are perfect. Now, here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Building wealth isn't actually about the money. It's about identity. People who successfully build wealth don't see themselves as people who will eventually have money. They see themselves as investors right now, even if they're investing $50 a month, even if their total net worth is negative because of student loans. It's an identity shift, and it happens in your brain before it happens in your bank account. There's this fascinating study from university that tracked people's financial behaviors over 20 years. What they found was that people who identified as savers or investors in their 20s, even when they had very little money, were 8 times more likely to achieve financial independence by their 50s than people with similar incomes who didn't adopt that identity. 8 times. It wasn't about their salary. It wasn't about their education. It wasn't about getting lucky with some investment. It was about how they saw themselves. When you see yourself as an investor, you make different decisions. You don't skip investing just because it's a tight month. You find a way. You don't cash out your retirement account to buy a car. That's not even an option you consider. You don't view your income as money to spend, but as money to allocate. This is the psychological shift that separates people who build wealth from people who don't. And here's the key: the longer you wait to make this shift, the harder it becomes. Because every year that goes by, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who doesn't invest, or someone who isn't good with money, or someone who will deal with it later. You know what's interesting about financial success? From the outside, it looks sudden. Somebody's 55 years old, they retire early, they've got $2 million in investments, they're traveling the world, and people say, wow, they must have made a ton of money, or they must have gotten lucky with stocks. But if you actually look at their financial life, there was no lottery win, no inheritance, no lucky break. There was just a 30-year-old who started investing $500 a month and never stopped. That's it, that's the whole story. But from the outside, it looks like magic. It looks like something special happened. And in a way, something special did happen. They made the decision to take financial responsibility seriously, and they made it early enough that time could do the heavy lifting. According to Vanguard's 2024 report, the median retirement account balance for someone aged 55-64 is $71,000. That's median. Half of people have less than that, and these are people who are about to retire. But the people in that same age group who started investing consistently in their 20s, their median balance is over $800,000. Same age, same retirement timeline, but one group started early, one group delayed. That's the entire difference. Okay, so what do you actually do? Because information without action is just entertainment. Step 1, open an investment account this week. Not next month, not when you figure everything out. This week. IRA through Vanguard, Fidelity, or it takes 20 minutes. If you can binge watch a show, you can do this. Step 2, set up an automatic investment. Start with whatever you can actually sustain. $50, $100, $200, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it's automatic and it happens every single month without you thinking about it. The automation is key because it removes the decision from your future self, who will always find a reason not to invest this month. Step 3, invest in a target date fund or a simple 3-fund portfolio. You don't need to be an expert, you don't need to pick individual stocks. A target date fund that matches your expected retirement year, or a simple mix of total stock market index fund, international index fund, and bond fund. That's it. Simple beats complicated almost every time. Step 4, increase your investment by 1% every time you get a raise. You got a 3% raise, increase your investment by 1%, keep 2% for lifestyle. This way you're still improving your quality of life, but you're also building wealth. It's not all or nothing. Step 5, never ever cash out early. I don't care if you change jobs. I don't care if you see something you want to buy. I don't care if your friend has a great investment opportunity. That retirement account is locked. It doesn't exist for anything except retirement, period. Here's the thing that nobody wants to hear, but everybody needs to understand. Every single day you delay taking financial responsibility is a day you can never get back. You can recover from a lot of financial mistakes. You can pay off debt. You can rebuild your credit. You can downsize your lifestyle. But you cannot recover lost time. The 25-year-old watching this right now has something that the 35-year-old would pay $1 million to have back. You have time. And time is the most powerful ingredient in the wealth-building formula. But it only works if you start using it. I've met so many people in their 40s and 50s who say, I wish I had started investing in my 20s. I've literally never met anyone who said, I wish I had waited longer to start investing. Not once. So here's my challenge to you. Don't be the person who looks back with regret. Be the person who looks back with gratitude that they started when they did. Your future self is watching you right now. What are you going to do? If this video helped you understand the real cost of delayed financial responsibility, hit that like button and subscribe for more straight talk about money. And drop a comment below telling me, what's the one thing stopping you from starting to invest today? Let's talk about it. Because here's the truth, you don't need permission to start building wealth. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a finance degree. You just need to start today, right now. Let's go.